What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be taking a look at a mono-green Stompy deck, and this is a list that Rumti took all the way to #1 Mythic in just under 8 hours of play, and that's 8 hours of actual in real life time. So that counts, you know, bathroom breaks, you're drinking some water, eating a snack, any and all of that. For actual playtime, I think it was 5 hours is what it took him. That's like one shift of work. He went all the way up to Mythic #1 using this mono green list right here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this beautiful construction. Now, I believe in his list he did have 4 copies of Swarm Shambler. Swarm Shambler is a really great card in this deck, and I can't express that enough. Getting the +1/+1 counter every single turn, and then allowing your Gemrazer to build on those counters, because that's what a lot of this deck is putting your Gemrazer on your, you know, Swarm Shambler, or Stonecoil, or Nessian, on all these creatures that get counters, and then you just gave them, you know, reach, trample, and 4 extra points of damage, or in Swarm Shambler's case, you know, however much counters it has. So cool card, and the added insects are actually really key because they are still non-human, which means even if your Swarm Shambler gets removed, you can still Gemrazer onto those insects. Stonecoil protection for multicolors is still beautiful. Reach and trample is ever so prevalent in the meta right now with the rogues and all this 1/1 sort of chum blockers running around, and not to mention the fact that you can just sort of dump all your mana into this and build a really big snake. Primal Might is some great removal while also allowing you to smash in really hard, right? Pretty simple to the point there. Nessian Hornbeetle is a really strong card. For 2 mana, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger every single turn. It's just good value, you know, and it's only an uncommon, which means everybody can play it. Ram through is some great removal, and of course, if you have trample on your creatures, you know, the Stonecoil, the Gemrazers, that kind of stuff, you're also going to be dealing extra damage to your opponent. And never forget, it is an instant speed. That is one of the biggest benefits to Ram through, is the instant speed of it, right? Scavenging Ooze, 2 mana for this 2/2. You're going to be allowed to exile target cards from graveyards. If it's a creature, you get a +1/+1 counter and you get to gain life. This is great against aggro decks and great if you need a solid body to just continuously build. Or again, if your opponent has things in the graveyard that they want, you can remove it, or vice versa. If you're playing against a rogues deck and you have, you know, 9-10 cards in the graveyard, you can exile 3 cards from your graveyard, hit that less than 8 number, and now, you know, you sort of reset all of their rogues' abilities, which is really strong. Wildborn Preserver is my sort of what I took from Rumti's sideboard and put into the main board, because we're playing it in best of 1. He plays it in best of 3. Y'all know me, I'm more of a best of 1 player. Nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. Wildborn is great against those rogue decks because, again, 1, it has flash, so you're going to be able to wait until their turn to play it instead of having to play it on your turn. And it has reach, which means, you know, those soaring thought thieves, or whatever the hell it's called, are going to have to block or swing through this creature, right? And it can continuously build with counters and all that great stuff. Lovestruck Beast, 3 mana for a 5/5. It's hard to beat that value proposition. You also get the 1/1 on the flip side, and yeah, it's quite beautiful actually. Garruk's Harbinger as a 2-off in the main deck, and this is because Hexproof from black is really strong up against a lot of the control decks. They're going to be using Bloodchief's Thirst and all this, that, to remove your creatures. This has Hexproof from that, not protection, but Hexproof. Furthermore, whenever it deals damage, you can look at the top, however many cards, however much damage you dealt, right? Look at that many cards, and you can reveal a creature or a Garruk's Planeswalker. Now, you do have Garruk Planeswalker in the deck, so that's nice, but obviously grabbing creatures for the free ski after you just dealt damage is probably your best case scenario. Kazandu Mammoth is a beautiful creature, not to mention the fact that it's also a land. It's really going to benefit you either which way it's played, right? Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, 3 mana for this. Well, it comes down as a 4/4, right? This is probably your strongest immediate combo into the Gemrazer, because it comes down with 4 +1/+1 counters, and then you Gemrazer onto it, and now you have a big 8/8 with reach and trample, and every time you play a green creature down, it's going to get another counter on it. So that's where most of the power of mono green comes from, right? Garruk Unleashed is going to allow you to give your creatures +3/+3 and trample, which is really nice if you don't have that Gemrazer, if you don't have that Stonecoil, right? That way you can still get trample onto your creatures and get through your opponent's chum blockers. Furthermore, the 3/3 green body is good if you're behind on creature count, and then of course the emblem should allow you to win the game. Moving us on over, Vivian Monsters Advocate is actually really nice for just rapidly building your board. We've all had those times where we got board wiped and it's like, fuck, now I'm not going to be able to come back. Nice thing with Vivian, you know, you -2 whenever you cast your next creature spell, you can search for another one with lesser. Well, most of the creatures in this deck are just absolutely beautiful. So they board wipe you, then you can -2 on the Vivian, and you play, you know, a Yorvo or whatever, then you can also go grab a Hornbeetle, and now you're sort of back in business, right? Not to mention the fact that the 3/3 green beast is really good, again, against those rogues, because you can give it the reach, and so you have more vertical grasp, I guess we'll say, right? And then last but not least, we have 4 copies. We have 4 copies of Turn Timber Symbiosis. If you have 4, if you have 3, if you have 2, if you have 1, play it. It is a beautiful card, especially in a mono green deck where you don't have to worry about the triple mana cost being you know, so oppressive. And being able to grab any of these creatures out and essentially give them 3 additional +1/+1 counters, because you only have 1 that's over 3 CMC, right? Is it's really beautiful, especially if you get something like Yorvo, and now Yorvo comes down as like a 7/7, right? It's just a scary situation. And then last but not least, we have the greatest, the great, the phenomenal Henge, right? Spell cost X less, where X is the power of your creatures. Obviously things like Lovestruck Beast with 5 power, you know, it's going to make the cost reduced from 9 all the way down to 4, which means essentially you can go turn 3 Lovestruck, turn 4 Great Henge. Once you get that Great Henge down, you can tap it, gain 2 life, gain 2 mana, and then play something like a Nessian or a Ram through, or literally anything from over here, right? It gets a counter, and then you get to draw a card as well. So the value with Great Henge is just beautiful. I don't recommend playing any more than 3 for sure. 2 is a good solid number, but you don't want to be drawing, you know, 2 Great Henges. It's a terrible feeling to have 2 of these in your hand at once. So, and then last but not least, if you have Castle Garenbrig, I do recommend you play it, as going on turn 5 and kicking up to 6 mana is huge. You know, that allows you to play your Gemrazer Mutate as well as Yorvo all in a single turn. Not to mention the fact that it also allows you to dump as much mana as possible into Wildborn and Scavenging Ooze as you have, basically. So that is going to do it for the deck tech breakdown, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and of course, if you're new here and you want more awesome ass content, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and come back daily, because we post videos daily. We post 2 videos every other day, so a lot of content for y'all to consume. We're live on Twitch most mornings. Hop over to https.twitch.tv. Y'all know what I'm saying. Dr. Phil, go toss a follow. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the matches. Anyways, Cappuccino? Look, I'm not good with names. Y'all know that. We're gonna keep this. This is decent. And I'm gonna take a drink of coffee here. All right, a little loosey goosey off the bat. A little loosey goosey, huh? Sorry, I got coffee beer. Don't judge me. By the way, it looks like we're going up against another mono green deck, so yuck. Probably just gonna play Wildborn down at instant speed. Damn it, I was really hoping they would be the kind of person to be like, I'm gonna swing in my goose and prove a point. They didn't, obviously, but you know. We could hope. Please don't have a Gemrazer. No, they would have played that before, right? They would have went land Gemrazer. Yeah, alright. Well, let's get down our Wildborn. It'll be a wild time. Do I want to counter their Yorvo by just slapping a Lovestruck down, you know? Go bigger, better, farther, further? Or do we want to try to match them 1 for 1? Because your Yorvo is going to constantly be 1 ahead of us if they get a green creature down, right? It'll turn into a 5/5, and ours will be a 4/4, and that'll kind of be awkward. Or we go ahead and go for the Lovestruck now off the bat, and we just have something to block. I like the idea of that. Let's just put the body on the board. Let the bodies hit the board. Popular remix song, right? Oh, get out of here, fly. Shit, you're annoying the hell out of me. It's like 1, and they're big and dumb flies, you know what I mean? I'll stop talking about that, because I know people don't really want to hear about it, but you live next to a donkey and a horse, as I've said before. You gotta, like, accept life's negatives. But I feel like I'm constantly preaching that to people. You know, you can't be negative about every negative thing in your life, because that just compounds, right? You're like negativity, 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 and it's not a good color. Anyways, do we want a Primal Might? Like, how big can we build our Lovestruck Beast so it can take out the Yorvo? 1, 2? 2 would probably be safe, but that is our entire turn's worth of mana, right? Well, no, because I could play this. So if I just do it for 1, Lovestruck Beast goes up to a 6/6. We still have 2 mana left over, which means we could still play down a Scavenging Ooze. That's not bad. Let's let them know that we're thinking, right? Don't be rude. If you're thinking, let your opponent know. I think that is what we do. I think we go +1 here to here, auto pay. This way, even if they have a Wildborn Preserver, they can come down to instant speed. We'll be able to deal with, you know, how big Yorvo gets. And, yeah, then we can shock in the Turn Timber, which, I mean, that does put us down to 13 life. I mean, I guess it's too late for us now. Ran through, that's genius. Nice, nice. Way to turn that removal right back around on us, huh? So now are we shocking this in? They are getting in 3 damage, which means if I shock this in, we're going down to 10 life, but we might be able to come back. I'm doing it. The Ooze is too good. If we can get Ooze down next turn, we could actually, you know, just sink all of our mana into the Ooze, right? They have 1, oh, maybe not. Well, we can sink 2 mana into the Ooze. Still, 2 life, 2 counters. I'll be happy. I should have double blocked. Maybe not actually. What if they just ram through it? What if they just ram through us? That's not a very pleasant mental image. All right, so if I go for Garruk, we can't -2 because we have, like, by the time that enters, right? I mean, we could go for Garruk. I'm choosing not to. So if I pay 1 here, we can use Ooze, gain a life, put a counter. Or I can pay 1, give Wildborn a counter. I think the life is more important at this current time. Yeah, let's just go for the Yorvo. Let us go for the Yorvo. Decline. You. That one. Cool beans. Cool beans. Kazandu, you are coming down as a land. You are. Another little loosey-goosey. That's not good, because now their Yorvo's bigger, better, badder than ours. How do I feel about double blocking into the Yorvo? Well, never mind, because they're not attacking. It's not for sale. Alright. Alright, am I right? Is this any creature? Whenever another non-human. Okay, cool. Cool. So if I go for the Harbinger, we have 2 mana left over. That is Ooze or Wildborn getting buffed. I think that's what I go for. That catches our Yorvo back up. Do I want to sink 2 mana into Wildborn? How about we sink 1 mana? Because we have 1 creature over here that we need to exile with the Ooze, right? That'll put us back up to 12 life. We'll have a 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, and a 4/3. Solid board, if you ask me. Now, we know they have ram through. They keep leaving up that 2 mana. I mean, they actually technically have 3 mana. Normally, I'd say we could swing in here. But if we swing in, and they Yorvo block the Scavenging Ooze, and then ram through our Yorvo, and then block Stonecoil onto Wildborn, they're left with a Yorvo. My whole side of the board minus Garruk's Harbinger is cleared. Yeah, I can't afford that. If they ram through now, we'll still be left with a 3/3, a 4/4, and a 4/3, right? So. Now, I do want to get my Garruk Unleashed down. That will allow us to actually swing in, probably with the Harbinger, maybe, actually. Right? Because it goes up to a 7/6. They could double block us, though, with the Yorvo Stonecoil. Questing Beast, it's not the end of the world. If they choose to swing in, we can still trade fairly well with them. They are. Do we want to trade with the Scavenging Ooze? They have 1 mana thanks to the Goose. I mean, I think we pretty much have to trade here. We're down to 12 life. Like, we can't afford too much, right? So I put Stonecoil down for 2. We could raise Wildborn, but Stonecoil doesn't proc Yorvo.
I've got an axe to grind. Dare you to stop this?
So we'll either trade out our Harbinger with their Yorvo here, or we'll just get in damage, right? Cool beans. Let's see. Swarm Shambler we can play. Lovestruck we can play one side of, so I do like that. Which would I rather have? Swarm Shambler that can continuously build, or Lovestruck that comes down as solid? I mean, the Swarm Shambler is better over an extended period of time, isn't it? But this is better immediately, so. We're at 5 mana. I might hold for this turn timber, actually. Like, that might be the best play for us. Because if we can reach in and grab almost anything and have it come down with additional counters, that'd be good. Fuck me. Alright, that's bad for us, obviously. Do we block with the Preserver or do we block with the Yorvo? Oh, Hornbeetle's really good value for us. That's great. Alright, I do feel a little bit better about that. So should I go ahead and +1 with the Garruk? No, because then I won't be able to do that, right? Although if I put this down for 2, like if I put Hornbeetle down for 2, I can raise Wildborn Preserver up to a 6/6. If we could see a ram through or something, that would be stellar, right? Because then we could just build a creature up big enough and have it kill Yorvo, and then problem solved. We're laughing to the bank. Oh, I don't mind if I do. Hell yeah. Let me keep looking at the top cards. Another Hornbeetle? Oh, baby. Now, we didn't get the proc off the Hornbeetles, which I guess is a little unfortunate, but... maybe we just go for a Lovestruck, and then that plus the Wildborn can actually protect our face. We drop a Hornbeetle as well. Our opponent is stuck on 3 mana, so like we are in a great position as far as that goes. We really just need to push the advantage of being able to put down more creatures than them right now, I think. right? So they just dropped a Stonecoil, but it's still only a 3/3, so your power is limited. Kazandu, you're definitely getting played down as a land. So I definitely want the other Hornbeetle. Do I want to just stack into the Wildborn? I think so. I think now's the time. So we'll pay 3 outright there. Although I suppose we should have. Well, no, you gotta make a decision there. All right. So on to combat. You're swinging in 6/6, not quite yet. And you know they gotta eventually trade out with the Yorvo if it's not ever gonna build. No, just a goose, 2 geese, 2 geese and a Stonecoil. Oh, beautiful. We're taking them all out. We don't deal any damage to them. That's still worth, in my opinion. Up against another mono green mirror, right? They just now hit 4 mana. I think we got this. Questing Beast. They don't attack though. Oh, baby, we just hit a Gemrazer. That's GG, right? So we put you here. We go over. 8/8. Cool beans. Then we can go. Instead, you may search your library for a creature. I put it in. Wow, that's pretty good. But let's go with this here. We have 2 8/8 tramplers. All right. And then this one can get even bigger if I just play this down for 1. Right, so alright, bitches, block this. 18 points of trample damage. Realistically, we should have just swung all in. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. That's a whole oops. When you're playing just too cautiously. Still, I at this point, it was just elongating the game for no reason. I do apologize, audience and foe. There's no reason for that. I should have swung all in. Yeah, good game. Yeah, see. We both knew it. I don't know why I didn't. Anyways, picking up another victory with mono green Stompy makes me happy. Georgina, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sure. Sure. I'm not a huge fan of ever throwing down Stonecoil for just 1 mana, so I just think one little 1/1 is not enough, you know? Triome, which means this is probably Omnath. Alright, well, if it's Omnath, we want Stonecoil to have more than 2 life as well, right? Because Bone Crusher is an easy picking on that, so. Now, this is my first game of the day, YouTube, so please be a little forgiving on the mistakes, right? Edgewall, yep. Alright, well, fortunately for us, they only have 1 mana. Unfortunately for us, Brazen is really good against us. I think I just want to slam a Harbinger. Slam a Harbinger and let's just pray, right? Now, Borrower deals with it, but Bone Crusher doesn't, so kind of going off the back of that. Clover. Alright, cool beans. So we will get in some damage with our Harbinger. Nice. Alrighty. I mean, first things first, let's get in there, right? Mash it up a little bit. Ooze? Don't mind if I do's. Get it? Ooze, do's. Anyways. So we can go for a Mammoth plus a Shambler here. I do really like the Mammoth. Do I do? Alright. So we've set up a solid board state. The problem with Teamer Adventures Omnath is one little brazen bar, or literally with those 3 lucky clovers, and they can bounce everything on our side of the board. Isn't that crazy? We have 3 creatures with 2 mana. They can completely dismantle our board state. Yikes, am I right? Thank goodness we had a Gemrazer. Alright, so that's gonna cost us... That's going to cost us 3, which means if I was to shock this in, we would still have 2 mana, which means I could play Ooze. We don't need to shock this in before attacking, though, do I? We might, actually. Is Ooze that important? Or would I rather just put a counter on Swarm Shambler? No, I think I want to put Gemrazer on Swarm Shambler, so he's swinging in. So we're swinging in with everything, right? So then I do want the Ooze down. Correct? I think that's correct. We're going to pay 3 life here. We are going to mutate here. Over and out. Copy, copy, copy. Anyways, we're going to destroy one of those bad boys. And then we have enough for the Ooze. But we're not going to let them know that we have that. Now we can swing in with our Harbinger. Take out all their 1/1s. Only leave their Edgewall Innkeeper. I still think that's worth it. It's mono green Stompy, it's not mono green hold stuff backy. So, you know, let's stomp. Let us stomp. I'm not muted, am I? I had that problem the other day. No, okay. Sure, let's go ahead and get down the Ooze as well. Whenever you're facing Teamer Adventures, you wanna get creatures on the board. Alright, so now if they brazen, they can bounce 2 things, but we're still good. They won't bounce the Gemrazer for sure. Beanstalk. Okay, so that's a Bone Crusher, which will take out Ooze, but that's about it. It can either take out the Ooze or the Mammoth, right? No, just another Lovestruck Beast. It's not a bad plan, as it does, you know, give them more blockers, but now they're left with 1 mana and nothing else. Nothing left to survive. They don't have any creatures? Are you joking me? Is this a joke right now? Alright, well. Yeah, send it. Send it all. Again, even if they trade out for the Ooze, we gotta get to that face. To the face. Alright, so 4/3 is getting blocked. 5/5's getting blocked. Is the 2/2 getting blocked? No, so we're still getting in for 7. Good old 7 damage. So opponent's down to 4. It's not too shabby, and then we just follow up with a big old, big Stonecoil, right? 6. Confirm. Alright, so now we have a 5/5 with trample. We have a 6/6 with trample, protection from multicolor. Not that really matters if they brazen us. Another Lovestruck Beast. You are striking me with the love today, Gino. I gotta say, I do appreciate it. I do. Another edge wall, and then boom, Lovestruck. Yeah. Alright, so they have a solid little board here. They're drawing cards, they're doing stuff. What is our best possible draw? Our own Lovestruck? Now, you know, I was gonna say another Gemrazer to go on top of the Stonecoil, but I mean, I guess that's okay as well. So I do want Kazandu to go up to a 5/5, I think. I think that's just wise, so do I go ahead and play you as a land? I say yes. I say bring it. Bring it on. Boom, 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 boom. Don't let up the pressure. If your creatures are much bigger than theirs, and ours are, put on that pressure. There's 1 chum block. There should be 1 chum block to the 4/3. Yeah. 5/5 might trade out with our 5/5 Gemrazer. Could also do a 5/5 at a 1/1 into the Stonecoil. Honestly, that might be a better option. But you still got to block 2 damage from the Gemrazer now, because that's 5 damage, right? So you got to block with both your Innkeepers as well. So we're taking out their entire board state, and actually we're still winning thanks to the Ooze, right? So one Innkeeper. No, yeah, GG. That's GG. Haha. Math is for losers. Although I guess we just did the math, so does that make me a loser? Anyways, Mono Green Stompy taking down the Omnath Adventures. Mandarang. Sounds kind of like a superhero, right? Or maybe a super villain. Look out, it's Mandarang. Any Hoosers, on the one hand, we get the Swarm Shambler, and we have mana for the Wildborn. If we can get to the Gemrazer, that's really good. Yorvo is fantastic. We're keeping it, whatever. 2-land hand, sure, fuck it. We'll try. Ugh, another Omnath deck. We're just not catching a break today, huh? Alright. Well, if it's... Oh my goodness, and this one is just off to the races with the Edgewall Innkeeper and the Lucky Clover. My goodness, man. Alright, so we do Primal Might this, right? And take out the Innkeeper. And then just build Shambler. I think that is the way to go. Well, so I don't mess this up, let's do this, okay? Because I'll mess it up. Not 1, you doofus. Just the 0. If I knew how to play cards in Magic, I tell you, things would be a lot easier. Anywho, just taking out the Innkeeper does make me rest a little bit easier. Just a little bit. Now, also on our next turn, we can shock in the Turn Timber and Gemrazer that Lucky Clover. We're going to hope they don't have a Borrower. Beanstalk comes down. This will be a good indication. If they immediately grab the blue, they got a Borrower. Red. Alright, so it's a Bone Crusher. It's pretty much how that one works, right? Pretty much how that one works. Now, here comes Bone Crusher onto the Swarm Shambler, right? And then onto our face. But, thanks to Swarm Shambler's beautiful... No, they're taking out the insect. Fuck. I thought for sure they'd be taking out our face hole. I was gonna say, thanks to Swarm Shambler's ability, we're able to blah 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 blah. Fine. No blah blah blahs for me. I guess just a big cheeky Yorvo, huh? Just a big, green, jolly, bearded Yorvo. God. You know, minus the green part, Yorvo, I really wish I had that beard. That is one epic ass beard. Now, the unfortunate thing is, of course, if they have another Bone Crusher, Yorvo is Toadski. But, if their plans are to just play their previous Bone Crusher, we're all good. They have 1 card in hand. What could it possibly be? Am I right? I say that, but you guys and girls all know as well as I do, it could have been an Escape to the Wilds. And then they could have just went off and it would have been ugly. Would have been very ugly. Alright, so there's no reason for us to shock this in because we are playing Gemrazer for sure on their Lucky Clover, yeah? I mean, that gives us an 8/8 body. I feel like there's not even a need to think with that, right? You should just do it. Boop. Next, I'll attack. Thank you. I'll take that 12 damage to the face. Now, they are going to turn around and whip us with 6, so it's not, you know, it's not super fun. But following that, we can hit the Ooze, which has two creatures it can gain life off of. That's not terrible. Big old Beanstalk coming in as an 8/8 as well to match my Gemrazer. But our Gemrazer is going to build when we go to play the Ooze and all that good stuff, so no problemo there. Or is it better to just go for the Lovestruck token 5/5, you know what I mean? If I play the Ooze, are we actually going to use the counters, or am I going to play a Wildborn? Probably just going to play the Wildborn. Tell you what, I like this better. It's one card, and we're getting still commit 2 creatures to the board, and one of them's a 5/5, so. And then we're swinging in with 9 points of damage. If they don't block it, they're freaking fracking crazy. Oops. Very confused. Unless, of course, they have a Borrower, but they don't have a Lucky Clover, right? I don't understand the oops there. Did I mess up? We'll see. We shall see. Omnath. I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine for the time. Here comes another Lovestruck. And do they crack back? Do they? I mean, we have, goodness gracious. We have 9, 10, 11 points of trample damage if we play 2 creatures out. Alright, so they have to block with the 9/9 and the 2/1/1s. We swing in with the 5/5. 5/5 blocks the 5/5. So then they're left with a 4/3 and a 4/4. Or they block 9/9 onto the 5/5, 4/3, 5/5, and 1/1 onto the 10/10, right? I don't know. I gotta swing in. Omnath just hit the board. If we let them untap with Omnath, like, yikes. We gotta put the pressure on, right? Okay, so they do block with the 9/9. Are they blocking with the 9/9 and a 1/1, or are they blocking like wholeheartedly with the 4/3 or some shit, right? Because if they don't commit fully, we can get it. If they do, we're in a little bit of trouble. All right, that's still fine. It leaves them with an leaves them with an Omnath, a 5/5, and 1/1, right? Flash it into Wildborn doesn't do anything for us, so we'll just go ahead and go to the next. Take you out. Take that out. I think this does enter tapped. I think we just end our turn on that note. Again, Wildborn can come down instant speed, so that's good. I hate that the life gain is just right there off the bat. Like, play a land, gain 4 life. Jeez, you really made it hard for him, didn't you? You made it real difficult for him to get back in the game. Jeez. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm not gonna complain. No. But we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Might be. We just might be. So, God, that's still not big enough. Oh, this is terrifying. We're like literally doing all we can and still having the hardest time against this deck. All right, so the plan here then is to Wildborn. Gemrazer. Man, why couldn't they make Omnath a fucking enchantment? An enchantment creature. Come on. At least allow Gemrazer to take it out. Am I right? Alright, so we Garenbrig for sure. If I play Ooze, pay 1 to Wildborn, or do I pay 3 into Ooze and then Gemrazer Ooze? That makes it 5/9/9. Okay, well, this is certainly happening, right? This is over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have plenty of stuff to exile. I don't know why I thought 9/9. We can make it into a 7/7. They're gonna gain more life. Do I want another ooze down? I think I'd rather build this ooze, right? Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not sure how this one's gonna turn out, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna try our best. We're back up to 14 life, but problem is if they hit a land, they're back up to 11, and you know, it just keeps getting harder after that. We'll see though, 2 cards in hand. And the problem is, if one of them's not a land, then they just have 2 playables, right? Which isn't good for us either, because yeah, you know, Fae of Wishes, other shenanigans. I think we would have needed to win by now if we were going to win this one, but we'll hold out hope for maybe 1 or 2 more turns. We'll see what we can muster up. You never know. You know, if we could hit a Great Henge, that's only 2 mana for us right now, then we could play the ooze. We might could go on a little drawing spree, you know? You never know with Magic. Although I guess that's a pretty good way of knowing. That's a pretty good little pickup there. And by the way, I do apologize again for the flies. It's just how it gets whenever it gets real rainy out here, right? Because all the moisture and shit. And I live in the country, and if we open our window or our doors for like 5 minutes, it's terrible. But you can't not ever open your doors and windows, right? Like sometimes you gotta air your house out. I guess if you're in a like smoggy city though, like maybe not. So yeah, this is all GG, right? There's no way we're coming back from this. Let's see. Our best possible outcome is not that. Now we do have 6 mana, which means we can make this into like a 13/13. But I think we're still dead just to peripheral damage, yeah? Maybe not, maybe not. Alright, we'll try. We shall try. So let's get you down. Because we need you to block the Lovestruck Beast, right? We need you to Chumarino. And then you have to be the same size as the 11/11, and then we're still gonna be down to like what? Hold on, let me count. Let me count real quick. 2, so we're gonna go back up to 7 life total, and then take 2 from them. So we're gonna go back down to 5. Goodness gracious. This is just a clown fest if I've ever seen one, and trust me, I've seen some freaking fracking clown fest. I guess there's a decent point to be made to hold this, but we were only at 5 mana, which means we would need to hold it through two cycles. Also, when they crack in with their Beanstalk Giant, like if they have a single land here, the whole plan falls to shit. Literally, our whole plan falls to shit if they have a land. Whew. Alright. Show me what you got, Mandarin. You evil villain, you. I mean, they even have the Nico Bolas avatar. Come on. They gotta be evil. There's no way they're not. No way they are not evil. I mean, hell, they could even bounce Fae, use Fae, and then, yeah, cast whatever they grab with Fae, which could be a land, which would be super unfortunate for us. Oh man, I tell y'all, I do hate these freaking fracking motherfucking flies. Primal Might, that'll do it. That's a GG. That's a GG. We tried. We held on as long as we possibly could.